Hare Krishna, we are continuing teachings of Lord Chaitanya by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Prologue, The Life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Sulalita Devidasi. It has also been stated that 2 thieves stole away the lad from his father's door with a view to purloin his jewels and gave him sweetmeats on the way. The lad exercised his illusory energy and deceived the thieves back toward his own house. The thieves, for fear of detection, left the boy there and fled. Another miraculous act has been described of the lads demanding and getting from Hiranya and Jagadish all the offerings they had collected for worshipping Kṛṣṇa on the day of Ekadashi. When only 4 years of age, he sat on rejected cooking pots, which were considered unholy by his mother. He explained to his mother that there was no question of holiness and unholiness as regards earthen pots thrown away after the cooking was over. These anecdotes relate to his tender age up to the 5th year. In his 8th year, he was admitted into the Tola school of Gangadasa Pandit in Ganganagar, close by the village of Mayapur. In 2 years, he became well read in Sanskrit grammar and rhetoric. His readings after that were of the nature of self-study in his own house, where he had found all important books belonging to his father, who was a Pandita himself. It appears that he read the Smriti in his own study and the Nyaya also, in competition with his friends, who were then studying under the celebrated Pandita Raghunatha Shiromani. After his 10th year, Chaitanya became a passable scholar in grammar, rhetoric, the Smriti, and Nyaya. It was after this that his elder brother, Vishvarupa, left his house and accepted the ashrama status of a sannyasi, ascetic. Chaitanya, though a very young boy, consoled his parents, saying that he would serve them with a view to please God. Just after that, his father left this world. His mother was exceedingly sorry, and Mahāprabhu, with his usual contented appearance, consoled his widowed mother. It was at the age of 14 or 15 that Mahāprabhu was married to Lakshmi Devi, the daughter of Vallabhacharya, also of Nadia. He was at this age considered one of the best scholars of Nadia, the renowned seat of Nyaya philosophy and Sanskrit learning. Not to speak of the Smarta Panditas, the Nyayikas were all afraid of confronting him in literary discussions. Being a married man, he went to eastern Bengal on the banks of the Padma to acquire wealth. There, he displayed his learning and obtained a good sum of money. It was at this time that he preached Vaishnavism at intervals. After teaching him the principles of Vaishnavism, he ordered Tapan Mishra to go to and live in Benares. During his residence in eastern Bengal, his wife Lakshmi Devi left this world from the effects of snake bite. On returning home, he found his mother in a mourning state. He consoled her with a lecture on the uncertainty of human affairs. It was at his mother's request that he married Vishnupriya, the daughter of Raja Pandita Sanatan Mishra. His comrades joined him on his return from Pravasa, or sojourn. He was now so renowned that he was considered to be the best Pandita in Nadia. Keshava Mishra of Kashmir, who called himself the great Digvijay, world conqueror, came to Nadia with a view to debate the Panditas of that place. Afraid of the so-called conquering Pandita, the Tola professors of Nadia left their town on the pretense of invitation. Keshava met Mahāprabhu at the Barakona Ghata in Mayapur, and after a very short discussion with him, he got defeated by the boy, and mortification obliged him to decamp. Nimai Pandita was now the most important Pandita of the times. Okay. It was at the age of 16 or 17 that he traveled to Gaya with a host of his students, where there he took his spiritual initiation from Ishvara Puri, a Vaishnava sannyasi and a disciple of the renowned Madhavendra Puri. Upon his return to Nadia, Nimai Pandita turned religious preacher, and his religious nature became so strongly represented that Advaita Prabhu, Srivas, and others, who had before the birth of Chaitanya already accepted the Vaishnava faith, were astonished at the change in the young man. Jai. He was then no more a contending Nyayika, a wrangling Smarta, and a criticizing rhetorician. He swooned at the name of Kṛṣṇa and behaved as an inspired man under the influence of his religious sentiment. It has been described by Murari Gupta, an eyewitness, that he showed his heavenly powers in the house of Srivasa Pandita in the presence of hundreds of his followers, who were mostly well-read scholars. It was at this time that he opened the nocturnal school of Kirtana in the compound of Srivasa Pandita with his sincere followers. There he preached, there he sang, there he danced, and there he expressed all sorts of religious feelings. Nityananda Prabhu, who was then a preacher of Vaishnavism and who had completed his travels all over India, joined him at that time. In fact, a host of Pandita preachers of Vaishnavism, all sincere at heart, came and joined him from different different parts of Bengal. Nadia now became the regular seat of a host of Vaishnava acharyas, whose mission it was to spiritualize mankind with the highest influence of the Vaishnava creed. The first mandate that Chaitanya issued to Prabhu Nityananda and Haridas was this: "Go, friends, go through the streets of the town, meet every man at his door, and ask him to sing the name of Hari and lead a holy life, and then come and report to me every evening the result of your preaching." Thus ordered, the two preachers went out and met Jagai and Madhai, the two most abominable characters in Nadia. These two insulted the preachers on hearing Mahaprabhu's mandate, but were soon converted by the influence of bhakti inculcated by their Lord. The people of Nadia were now surprised. They said, "Nimai Pandita is not only a gigantic genius, but is certainly a missionary from God Almighty." From this time to his 23rd year, Mahaprabhu preached his principles not only in Nadia, but in all the important towns and villages around his city. In the houses of his followers, he showed miracles, taught the esoteric principles of bhakti, and sang his sankirtan with other bhaktas. His followers in the town of Nadia commenced to sing the holy name of Hari in the streets and bazaars. This created a sensation and roused different feelings in different quarters. The bhaktas were highly pleased. The Smarta Brahmanas became jealous of Nimai Pandita's success and complained to Chand Kazi against the character of Chaitanya, claiming it was un-Hindu. The Kazi came to Srivasa Pandita's house and broke a mridanga, kola drum, there and declared that unless Nimai Pandita ceased to make noise about his queer religion, he would be obliged to enforce Mohammedanism on him and his followers. This was brought to Mahaprabhu's notice. He ordered the townspeople to appear in the evening, each with a torch in his hand. This they did, and Nimai marched out with his sankirtan divided into 14 groups. On his arrival in the Kazi's house, he held a long conversation with the Kazi, and in the end communicated into his heart his Vaishnava influence by touching his body. The Kazi then wept and admitted that he had felt a keen spiritual influence which had cleared up his doubts and produced in him a religious sentiment which gave him the highest ecstasy. The Kazi then joined the Sankirtan party. The world was astonished at the spiritual power of the great Lord, and hundreds of heretics converted and joined the banner of Vishvambar after this affair. It was after this that some of the jealous and low-minded brahmanas of Kulia picked a quarrel with Mahaprabhu and collected a party to oppose him. Nimai Pandita was naturally a soft-hearted person. Though strong in his principles, he declared that party feelings and sectarianism were two great enemies of progress, and he saw that as long as he should continue to be an inhabitant of Nadia, belonging to a certain family, his mission would not meet with complete success. He then resolved to be a citizen of the world by cutting off his connection with his particular family, caste, and creed, and with this resolution he embraced the position of a sannyasi at Katwa under the guidance of Keshava Bharati of that town in the 24th year of his life. We will stop here for today and shall continue tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is actually in the description. And yes, we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna. Sorry for yesterday.